Hi, my name is Lana Geich, and I'm here with Audra Watley. She's from Allen, Texas, USA. She's a licensed acupuncturist, a certified functional medicine practitioner, and owner of Be Zen Holistic Wellness Center. Hi, Audra. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, so glad to be here.
Yes, it's been a busy day already for you, so I appreciate you stepping up like this and allowing me to interview you. And my understanding is you've got a little friend there near you.
Yeah, she's actually barking at the back door now. I'm so sorry. But
That's okay.
she does that. She may pop in a minute, so I'll show you guys if she pops up here.
And what's her name?
Her name is Miko. It stands for Mi Corazon. She actually has hearts on her sides, and so we named her My Heart.
That is so sweet. Oh my God.
Yeah, she's very sweet when she's not, chasing the dog next door.
She's doing what she's got to do, right? Keeping social distance, but
right. Yes.
yeah, still live yourself as a dog.
Barking over the fence, totally.
Awesome. Okay, wow. So I love it. So Audra is an integrative holistic practitioner, and she uses that approach and her intuition to help women balance their hormones, get their energy back. So this is your area of specialty. So can I ask some questions then?
Absolutely.
All right, I'll shoot.
Jump in.
So can you tell me, Audra, what are some symptoms that women have when it comes to their hormones?
Yeah, it can be a broad range, everything from night sweats and hot flashes to things that you would see more commonly that people think are hypothyroid, like lethargy, fatigue, cold. So it's like we have both ends. We have the hot and sweaty, and then we also have the cold and sluggish. So across the board, I do have a couple of patients that it manifests more in skin conditions, even though it's imbalances of their hormones. So there's a number of things that it can be, but definitely those night sweats, hot flashes, or the cold, sluggish, tired.
Fair enough.
Those are the most common.
So those are kind of the main ones that you would be looking at. Obviously, you would do more if you worked with someone and you could do testing and whatnot.
Right.
But these are kind of the main symptoms. And so would there be a drastic change between, within a month's time, or how typically does that happen for how people experience these hormonal issues?
Yeah. So it depends on what we're working with and how long they've had it. So if we've got somebody who's in their late 20s, early 30s trying to get pregnant, and they've got lots of PMS stuff, it's like it may take 2 or 3 months to get them into more of a fertility cycle, and to, really reduce some of those stressors so that their PMS symptoms go away. Now, a lot of my, like I said, my night sweats, hot flashes in their 50s, it's like they'll notice, with acupuncture itself, some of them notice right away, but with herbal medicine, they definitely notice within a week or so that, hey, that's not happening as much as it used to be. Wow. So they're getting better sleep, and they're, waking up and going, wow, the sheets aren't drenched. That's amazing. So, like I said, it just depends on where they are and what stage and what we're working with.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
And so how is immune function connected to hormone health?
Yeah, this is one that it's actually really fascinating that a lot of people don't know about. But our liver produces an enzyme called diamine oxidase. And what that does is it does help us break down estrogens and other hormones as we get to where we're shifting in those cycles. But it also is what breaks down histamine in our diet, so from foods that we eat, or histamine from allergies. And so I have a lot of patients that they think it's completely random that their allergies get worse when they're on their menstrual cycles, but it's completely normal because their body only produces so much of that enzyme. And so it's either working on breaking down hormones, or it's working on breaking down histamine, and it can't do both efficiently. Right. So
amazing. Yeah,
I was gonna say it's actually really interesting to work with and kind of see those differences of how eating foods that are lesser in histamine during certain times of the month actually make a difference for their hormones, or at least their symptoms associated with their hormones, because it's not the hormone itself, it's the body trying to break it down.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And so how does Chinese medicine help with hormonal balance, or imbalance, I should say?
Yeah. So Chinese herbs have been used for thousands of years to balance hormones. Some of them I'm sure you've heard of. I think that probably the most common, I'm so sorry. Hey, get down, stop. Um, we've all heard of black cohosh and things like that. It's like those are in combination in Chinese medicine. So unlike the Western herbal practices where they use black cohosh alone, it's like we use them in combinations with other herbs that are synergistic. And so you don't get any side effects. And it helps with relaxation. What you want up now? It helps with relaxation as well as just balancing the system itself. So, I don't know that I answered all of that question, but
You can tell me more. How else does Chinese medicine help people function with regards to their hormones?
Yeah, so a lot of times hormones are also imbalanced because of adrenal stress. See, there you go.
There she is. She's like, that's all I wanted, appearance on the screen.
He's like, I just wanted to be up here in the picture. So, yeah, reducing stress on the body also helps to reduce that hormone balance, and reducing the hormone balance reduces the reaction to stress.
Gotcha.
And so they work well together. The Chinese herbs help to not only balance the hormones, but also reduce stress, as well as acupuncture itself when we have the opportunity to use that too.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. What are some other benefits of Chinese medicine that's beyond the hormone balance?
Yeah, so the stress reduction, gut health, just really overall balancing the entire system. That's what we're going for, is unraveling where those problems are coming from in the first place. Not just a program that's like, oh, we heal the gut first and then we do this and then we do this, because you see a lot of those programs that it's like they're doing the same. They're basically doing the same protocol for every person that walks through, where Chinese medicine will look at, okay, we have 10 people that come in with the same label or the same diagnosis, and we may treat all 10 completely differently.
Yeah.
And so it's like we're just working with like really finding out from the person's perspective what's going on with them, and then helping to resolve from whatever perspective we need to get to.
Yeah. So very individualistic, based on needs.
It is, absolutely.
Gotcha. So we're not trying to slot people into diagnoses, which is sort of Western medicine concept.
Right.
We're looking for, an agglomeration of these symptoms, and then this is what you have. But perhaps there's 10 others that you're dismissing because these are the ones that fit into that diagnosis. So it is a bit different than it sounds like how you work.
Yeah, I was going to say, we in Chinese medicine, we work very differently. Exactly. Is that, yes, as a functional medicine practitioner, I want to look at labs. I want some of that evidence to say, like, these things are going wrong, and with these supplements, we can help with that. Now we still have to work with the energetic body, the mindset, and the other stuff that goes with it. It's like only throwing supplements at a body, for lack of a better expression, is like putting icing on a poo pie, right?
Politically correct, right?
Yes, exactly. Right. So, you can top it off all day long, but it's not going to get you where to go if you don't have, some other things resolved underneath.
Yeah. That are causing the issue, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some things that you see typically cause more issues and maybe isn't looked at from that Western medicine standpoint?
Yeah, we all know that our emotions play a big part of it. So emotions, stressors that aren't necessarily looked at from a medicine perspective. So it's like, yes, we have physiological stressors like bad diet and those kind of things, but then we also have other stressors that some people may work with a psychologist for, or they may be doing personal growth and development stuff. But when you're putting that in the perspective of these particular emotions correspond with certain things in the body. So like the emotion of worry actually is corresponding with with the spleen and the stomach in Chinese medicine. And so people that worry a lot are going to have more digestive issues. Okay. They're also going to have more sugar cravings. And the spleen and the stomach are also the ones that contribute to hormonal balance. And so I see a lot of those things tied together where they worry a lot, their hormones are imbalanced,
Right.
and they have digestive issues, right? Because it's all coming from the same place, really.
Gotcha. Okay. So it sounds like, I mean, you treat more than just hormonal issues, but because the picture is never simple, is it? It's
No, it's not. And I mean, so it's fascinating to me that in medicine, it's like, oh, you have your liver doctor and you have your spleen doctor or your immunity doctor and you have your brain doctor. But they're not saying that, okay, not just your mind, body, spirit, but your emotions and everything else are all in this one little cake batter that we call a person, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So when you start to realize that it's all very intertwined together,
Interconnected.
it really does take working with the whole being.
Yeah.
And their story and everything that they've put together before then. So
that makes sense. And so there is, of course, a time and place for Western medicine. And it seems to me like there's a time and place for this holistic way of functional, integrative, holistic kind of approach as well. So I have one last question, and then you can go back to the dog. It sounds like the dog's looking for your attention. What can people do then to improve their immune function at this point where they're segregated? They may not maybe have all the groceries they normally would eat or all the vitamins. So what would you say to that?
Oh, I would say the big three are going to be dance around and have some fun. That's the first one, right? Because it's like I said, it's like if you're worrying, you're unbalancing your digestive system and your other stuff. Eat your leafy greens and your your broccoli and your apples and oranges. So fruits and veggies are huge right now, just because they do boost your mood. Anything that helps to boost the mood and bring down the fear, those are really big ones. And then, of course, all of the other mandates that are out there. Wash your hands, those kind of things. But I would say really like boost your mood, focus on the positive. When you start to get in that place of fear and worry, just start checking in and being like, what's right here, right now? I'm sitting in a chair. I'm not sick. The dog's
positive. Yeah.
And then, there's a pile of laundry that I could be doing, and I'm grateful that I have a pile of laundry of clothes, right? It's like, be grateful for the things that you have, even if they're a complete and total chaotic mess right now.
So it sounds like stress management and be happy and grateful. These are the things that you can absolutely do right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, because beyond that, we have no control over what's going on out there. So
yeah, exactly. Focus on what you do control. So
yeah,
that makes sense. Awesome. And any foods, I'm going to throw this one last question. I know I'm kind of jumping in one more time, but any foods that are very good for the immune system that you would recommend if we can get our hands on? What would you say maybe one or two items are?
Yeah. So some of the foods out there, when people think of vitamin C, they're usually thinking of citrus fruits. Yeah. But I would say one of the foods that's highest in vitamin C is actually kiwi. Believe it or not. So kiwi is great. Definitely those leafy greens, they have tons of B vitamins and other minerals and things like that help us as well, balancing hormones and detoxing and just keeping ourselves healthy in general. So all of that does boost the immune system. What I would say stay away from is definitely stay away from the sugars and the processed foods, because sugar actually breaks your immune system in half for about 6 hours.
Wow.
So put the Easter candy away, folks. It can wait.
Good stuff. Oh, that's amazing. That's really good tips and tricks just on the food component of things. So that's awesome. So it's like mental health, physical health, they intertwine. And now you've got it, folks, straight from Audra's mouth, what to do and what not to do. Simple things while we're sort of locked in for the time being. Thank you so much for being with us. It was a pleasure talking to you. I love your sense of humor.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. All right. Take care. Have a good one.
You too.